What's up, guys? John CC here. It's Thursday. Hope everyone's having a great week so far in trading. It's been a pretty tricky week. I wanted to go over my last Twitter post and the updates that I made to my charts. I didn't think I could explain everything on the chart itself with the text, so I kind of wanted to do this video and just clarify some things. So this was my primary for quite a while now, and I'm beginning to second guess this as my primary. And so I believe that we were in some sort of triangle, right? And we had formed what would be the A, B, and the C leg of the triangle. But the way that this D leg has been playing out makes me think that this could possibly not be a triangle. And these are the reasons why. So first of all, let's take a look at the weekly really quickly. So the weekly still remains the same, guys. I've been seeing a lot of different counts. Some people have this as a entire wave one, so this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not sure how they're counting it. On the daily, you can make that argument that this is actually a primary wave one move, and what we're correcting now for is the wave two move. So we would get something like this, and then up for a really big wave three. Not my bias. My bias, I can't really see this on the weekly. The weekly, it looks really clear to me that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're making what looks to be, in my eyes, a wave 4 move. So we have this 1, 2, and here it would be an extended 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That makes us a wave 3 with an extension, coming down for the wave 4, and now I believe we'll go up for the wave 5 once we correct and complete this wave 4. So I thought that this was a triangle. As you guys know, I've been following my charts, but there is a possibility that this is not a triangle, and what we have is some sort of more complex type of correction. So referencing Petra and Frost, I'm seeing three scenarios. One, we have the macro triangle, which is my primary bias, all along for the wave 4. Two, we have a flat X wave and then a triangle for the Y, which I've showed you already on Twitter. Or three, which is a new count that I'm starting to consider, is the fact that maybe we are in some sort of flat X and a zigzag down. So I like to give a shout out to Dave Crypto, one of my friends on my Discord. He's the one that kind of brought this count to light. We were all counting this portion here as some sort of C leg of the triangle, and this being a W X wave triangle and then a C down, or a Y down, excuse me. But Dave actually went in and zoomed in on the 5-minute chart, and he was able to fit an account where everything fits in as a 1. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the 5-minute, ABC 2. And so this entire move down looked more impulsive than it did look corrective. So what it means that this leg of the triangle, this C leg, could actually be counted as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as an impulsive move down. So looking at Petra and Frost, we have all of this completed right now, and what we just finished or about to finish is this zigzag down for this A. So what that means is we should now come up, make a bounce for this B right here, and then we should come down for another impulsive move down like this to complete the zigzag. So this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the A leg, come up for a B, and then we'll come up for another, come down for another impulsive 5-wave move down to complete the Y leg, which is our 4th leg. So this is obviously the bearish reference on here. This is the bearish scenario on the Twitter post that I've mentioned. So the reason why I'm not so sure about whether or not this is actually the right scenario coming down or we're still in the triangle is really because of this circled complex. In my eyes, I'm having a hard time finding both counts to fit. You could go into micro detail. You could go into the smaller time frames and figure out that both counts sort of work. It looks different on different time frames, guys. So if we look at the daily, it looks like this is actually the correct count where we have an impulse move down, because this is a muddy area, right? And as I told you before, Neely has always said that if you are counting on different time frames, you're going to get different results. As you're looking at the daily right here, this doesn't look like any sort of move. You can't really make anything out. You can make out a clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So which makes me think that this is potentially the right count. Not so sure yet. You never know fully with Elliott waves until they have actually happened. It's just a probability. But shout out to Dave. Give him a follow on Twitter. Really good guy. He's always got really intricate, detailed counts. Sometimes I agree with him, sometimes I don't. But you should definitely give him a follow. So thanks, Dave, for helping me out with this count. So I'm not quite sure whether or not this is the correct count or not. But if we look at the daily once again, you can make out a clear 1, 2, 3 A wave, 1, 2, 3 B leg, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 C leg. This would be an ABC. But since the fact that our correction continues, we can label this as a complex, as a W. Here is an ABC three-way move for the X, just like Pletcher and Frost have described right here. And now we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potentially for this A leg. We'll come up for a B, and then another 5 may move down for the C. So if this is the correct count, I'm not saying that it is yet. It is something that I'm considering. But to this point, I am still going to go with the fact that this is still the correct count. My bias is that we are in this wave 4 triangle and that we are going to come up, finish the D, come down for the E, and then blast off sometime in September to hit our 17 to 20K target. I'm not so sure yet, guys. It's just you have to play it as the count goes on. Elliott waves are good at forecasting, but they're never 100% sure. You have to analyze all your perspectives, see if your edges line up in terms of, let's say, PA. For me, it's PA, momentum. I use a combination of TL, EMAs. So if we look at this CryptoWatch chart, the same thing can be said about this triangle. Look, we've had a bounce here every single time on this trend line so far. So until this trend line breaks, guys, I'm going to think that we are going to come up, hit the top again, come down, and then make our way up. So the last thing I want to go over with you guys is the algos. Right now, the algos are both short. On BTC on the 1 hour, we have a short here. Just ignore this count. I'm not so sure what's going to happen yet. But if we break this soft SL here, we're going to flip long. ETH is still short from 188, but momentum is starting to stack up. Volume is kind of poor. If we come up and breach 192, algo was flip long. And just historically, the algo really gives longer signals. So if we're getting a lot of chop, it means that something could be happening where we have a trend shift. Taking a look real quick at the ETH counts, I do believe that we are in for some relief bounce right now. I'm not entirely sure if this count is the correct count, but if we take a look at this trend line, look, we've been holding every single time, like here, here, and here. So I think that there's one more leg down to 160, but I just don't know yet, guys. I'm not really so clear on the count. It's a lot muddier than I thought that it would be. But based on this alone, we had a three-way move down. This could have been a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or a 1, 2, 3, and then we're making our way for the B. Regardless of whether the move we're gonna get next, I do believe that we're due for some sort of relief bounce. Momentum on the wave trend is bearish. We have a red dot, but I think that there is enough turning on lower time frames where we get a small bounce. We are in this order block support. Previously a resistance, we'll call this a support now since we are in this area and we're bouncing off. So when we get to here, I will reevaluate, but for the time being, I'm not so sure what's going on. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this update. There was a lot that I wanted to kind of go over, but not enough room on Twitter or on the charts to kind of explain everything in detail. For the time being, for the short term, watch this trend line. If the trend line gets broken, we're going to have a more bearish sort of scenario that's going to be playing out. But if we do end up holding here and we can make our way up, I don't know, for some top TL hit here or even here, there is a good chance that the macro wave 4 triangle is still playing out. So the last thing I want to point out is we are in a period of extreme fear. Now, I don't ever trade on this information alone, but it's just something to kind of think about. It's fun to think of. It's fun to kind of gloss over. So I am cautiously remaining foolish here, guys. I know I've been flip-flopping around. I'm not taking any positions yet. I'm just waiting for more confirmation. There's a lot that could happen within these next couple of days. But like I said, this is a make or break moment for BTC. So you got to be careful. You got to be calm. Really plan your strategies. Let your edges line up. Oh, ICX is pumping. Take a look at that. I feel really happy about that. My bag is finally pumping. But before I end this video, just want to say thank you guys so much for 500 views. It's the first video that I posted on YouTube that hit over the 500 mark. Thank you for your support, your comments, your likes. I really appreciate it. So that's all from me. If you guys want a more detailed lineup, you can expect me next Monday. I'll have another fresh episode of The Open where we'll go over the possible scenarios and sort of see what has come to fruition since posting this analysis. So have a great rest of the week. Always remember, let the profits come to you.